All right, tell me you've heard this one before. There are those who do a little and think they've done enough, and there are those who do a lot and worry whether they've not done enough. This goes back to describe a all too often thought that most of us have, and that is, are we or are we not good enough? We especially see this with a lot of beginning and intermediate athletes because it's a concept that we really want in life, especially as we're growing up. We want to be good enough. That is something that is ingrained into our brains and is deep down inside of our core. We want to belong. We want to be worthy of the goals that we're trying to accomplish. And our idea of being worthy is whether or not we're good enough to accomplish that worthiness. However, this is a concept that holds a lot of people back because what it generates is a fear of not being worthy, of not being good enough. So when we talk about competing, in a lot of ways, this looks like someone who is either desperate to win or desperate not to lose. What does this look like? So someone who's desperate to win, they oftentimes come out like hyper aggressive. They're doing things way too fast, way too hard. Nothing's ever fully formed. It's all just very much coming at a sense of over aggressiveness and desperation. And so they kind of push themselves out of a lot of positions and they end up losing all of their energy because they're way too emotionally revved up and they burn themselves out and then they gas out towards the end of their match or their competition. So someone who's on the other side of that spectrum, someone who's desperate not to lose, what this looks like is someone who's extra defensive and very afraid. They wrestle or compete on the outside. They never actually take any risks. They don't do anything. They're very risk minimization based. They don't ever go out of their way to be offensive, and they make sure that they win in a very small margin because they are afraid not to lose. But both people are coming at this from the same perspective, and that is they are desperate to be enough. We're either desperate to be enough, and that puts us in a fight or flight state where we're going to fight extremely hard to accomplish our goal, or we're going to be in a flight state and minimize and be extremely defensive to, again, accomplish our goal. However, when we go into this fight or flight state, we lose our sense of calm, we lose our sense of composure. We do things in one of two extremes, which really takes us out of where our best performance is going to be. And that is in the middle, where we're calm but intense, where we're very present, we're very composed, we're able to be mindful, but also use our thoughts to create strategies and tactics while we're competing. And when we go into that fight or flight state, because we're desperate to be enough, to be worthy, to go belong to a group or belong to our own goals or even accomplish our goals, that's where things start to go bad.